Of Britain Awards. Everyone from David Beckham to Simon Cowell were there on Monday night, but as always, the real stars of the show were the award winners themselves.
Among them were Vivienne Morgan and her husband Fred, who turned their lives upside down by helping bullied teenagers when they could have been enjoying their golden years.
Grandparents Fred and Viv Morgan have turned their house into a school.
This is the science lab, and through here we have the art room.
They've converted their spare bedrooms into classrooms, their garden into a sports pitch, and their barn into a music studio.
Children attend here because life in mainstream schools has just been overwhelming for them. And this school creates an environment where they can gain in self-confidence and they can learn effectively.
This one's coming out really well in England.
It's more like home here, isn't it, rather than school?
I was persistently bullied for a long time, and it got to the point that I couldn't take it anymore, and I took an overdose. Ever since I came here, everything has got better.
If we hadn't have found Northleigh House, I don't think my daughter would be alive today.
The best thing about this school is that I can just be me.
We haven't given up anything. We've gained so much.
And Viv Morgan and Ruth Harkin join us now. And congratulations for your award. Very well deserved indeed. But I wanted to know, because we were there on Monday night and you went up and you spoke so beautifully, but 2012 you decided to convert your home into this school. So what on earth possessed you to do that?
Yes, we did. We had it as we bought it about 10 years ago, and it was a sort of 25-bed bed and breakfast small hotel, and that was great. But after about 5 or 6 years, we wanted to do something with it that was more useful to someone, and we read in the press of 1 or 2 cases, actually, of children who killed themselves, 15-year-olds, and I thought that was quite shocking because they were so anxious. They were out of school for various reasons. Some of them had been bullied, and I thought there must be a place. They must be able to be helped somehow. And so I looked into it. We've been in business all our lives, my husband Fred and I, and we had, you know, we worked for councils and so on and schools, and so I spoke to them about it, and it evolved from there.
Because you've got 17 pupils at the school, and they all come from different backgrounds, all different circumstances, but what they all have in common is the fact that they just, for whatever reason, do not fit into mainstream schools.
That's correct, yes.
So this is a chance for them to get that school education, and more importantly, school friends that they didn't necessarily have before.
Yes, because they're very isolated usually, and that is lovely.
So how do you do it?
I beg your pardon?
Whereas others have failed, how have you managed to achieve it?
I don't really know. We just don't give up.
And is that what it is?
Yes, perseverance is everything, yes.
Well, Ruth, you've
It's
been
more
there.
about concentrating on the emotions and making sure the children are happy before you push work onto them, because I think if you're at school you need to be comfortable, because you won't get the best out of your students unless you want to be there, you're happy, and I think it's the most concentration on the emotion work that makes you different.
Well, we saw in the film there you describing yourself, but I'm going to ask you again. So what was your life like before you got there?
Okay, so I was diagnosed with Asperger's, and I never really fit in like a normal class setting, and we couldn't really work out why, and I was 12 when I got diagnosed, so all of my life there was no real answers, and I got bullied when I was at a mainstream school, and so I left because it got on top of me so much every single day. I was afraid to go to school. I didn't want to leave my mum ever. I didn't even want to walk down the shops and get some bread or milk. I just couldn't leave her ever. And then we found out about Northleigh, and we were so excited. It was like a glimmer of hope that we've been waiting for.
So what difference did it make to your life? How different of a person are you now to the girl that walked into Northleigh House?
Well, I've learned a lot of skills and coping strategies that I will take with me forever. And I think before, when I was at my old school, there was a lot of children in the class, like 30, 31, and you were one out of them, and it almost felt like they have a whole class to teach, and you couldn't say what your problems or how you felt because there were so many other people in the classroom. They didn't have time to focus just on you. And at Northleigh, the lessons are one-to-one, so it was literally me and a teacher, and I got all the help that I needed.
And does it help to be in an environment where you are with other pupils with, I mean, everybody's story is different, but with similar stories?
Yeah, definitely. There's a massive understanding. It's like a family, so it's not quite like going to school. It's more like going to a friend's house because we're all friends, and because everyone feels the same, similar things to what you do. They're really understanding, and they don't have any expectations, and there's no pressure. It's just really, really lovely.
You're a former pupil now, so what's life like?
It's different. I was afraid to leave because I was so comfortable. It was just like home. But I think going back into the real world and back to mainstream school, I've learnt, it just makes me realise how much I've actually learnt from being there, and it just amazes me, because at one point in my life I didn't think I'd ever get there. I thought this is my life forever and nothing's ever going to get any better, and the fact that it has, it's literally, it's a miracle, and everybody who knew me before is completely shocked.
You're a great spokesperson
I
for
know,
the
Arnie
school.
does. I think you must be so proud. And she's not the only one, because everybody that sort of graduates goes on to the next level in their life, and it's a real success story. I mean, you must be so proud of what you and your husband have achieved.
We are. I am. It's indescribable. They're wonderful, and every young person that's come has benefited, haven't they, Ruth?
Yeah.
They've gone on, and we make sure that there's something for them afterwards. It's not just you're here and we help you and then you're on your own.
Good luck, yeah.
You know, we go to college and stuff.
I mean,
don't
I've almost felt like I'm still at the school, because they're always in contact, finding out what I'm up to, how I'm getting on at my new school. Like
Checking on you.
Yeah, making sure I'm being good.
And there's been no moment where you've thought, oh, I would have quite liked a quiet retirement?
Oh, goodness me, no. I'll be quiet when I'm dead, won't it?
I mean, it's the
we
beauty of
don't
it.
go for quiet very much. We love the children being there. It's lovely.
How do you fund it?
I beg your pardon?
How do you fund it?
Oh, it's wonderful. Every day we look forward to it.
But the money, how is it paid?
Oh, the funding. Well, some money comes from the councils, and we frantically fundraise all the time. There isn't enough money to fund it, and that is my next aim, to have it funded properly, because we could do more, for one thing, and to make sure it's sustainable for the future, because it's not at the moment, and it does need help, and I want it to be there forever when I'm long gone.
Wouldn't it be marvellous if there was a rich businessman who was around, well, maybe watching the show at the moment, who thought, what a thing to fund, what a thing to fund. Who are the guests we've got on today?
I think Alan Sugar might be in the building.
Is he?
Today. Oh, how about that?
We might try and put you together, I think.
Oh, that would be in my dreams, and then we could make sure that all the children that keep coming would be there for always, and that would be lovely. And beyond that, it would be nice if there were similar places, and Jill Cornfield, a wonderful head teacher, and I would be happy to help with that, because there's 16,000 children out of school for different reasons in the UK, and they all need a chance, and that's what we aim to do, give them a chance.
And they've more like you.
They've all taken it in the 34, in the 3 years we've been open, the 34 of them.
Well, you'll see the full story. Pride of Britain is tonight at 8 on ITV, and thank you
so much.
Well done.
Thank you.